Hey everybody, Drew here, and you're with me in the truck. I'm just doing a little extra on this Saturday, which sometimes I hate, but I'm able. So I just wanted to go over with you guys something about branding. And, this is where I'm talking more like, my opinion, kind of like my niche thing that I've done for me. I'm going to vary a little bit from like traditional business school, but what I've done, and it's worked just remarkably for me, is I haven't tried to copy the best people in the industry. I've tried to do the exact opposite of all of them with my marketing in terms of like the way that it looks. For example, in the automotive industry, it's the shiny black with the red sports car and all that crap. And it's like, not that that's crap if you're selling, $350,000 used Ferraris, but I've made a really good living selling like 2009 Corollas without rust on them. And by making like absurdly, honest and transparent videos, like 12-minute videos. That's what makes me special, is I shoot a 12-minute video for every car I sell, and I point out every little flaw and every little stone chip, and I take it for a test drive. And to be the opposite of my competition up here in the Rust Belt, I film the undercarriage because I deal in Southern cars, and I want them to see the undercarriage. So what I identified in my business early on is that the vast majority of my competition, overwhelming 99.5% of my competition, is lying, cheating, basically criminals using a state license to sell a legitimate product, which is a car. But I mean, not a good one, and it's an absolutely awful business. So even the most successful people in this business still have this image from the public, like, oh, another car dealer. And I'm here to tell you, I don't deal with that at all. Never with my customers. I mean, people... And I'm so like deeply humbled and blessed by this. I mean, it's pushing 500 relationships that have started, which is a lot because of, I'm an owner operator, and that's by design. I mean, I could go crazy with this thing tomorrow, hire 3 people and sell 50 cars a month. But I've been an owner operator, very, very intimate, marketing and customer transactions. And there is literally not a single person who we've ever done business with that, given the opportunity, I wouldn't carve out 45 minutes to get a cup of coffee with. And they have been, grateful. It has been awesome. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I've been the exact opposite of a, typical car dealer, right? So if even the best in the industry, obviously there's exceptions to this, but if like I'm in Western New York, Rochester, New York, if I take, the most successful competitor I have here and I try to like mimic what they do, maybe they're a 3.9 on Google, and, they negotiate price on every one of their... I don't want to be that. I want to be the opposite. I've talked to you guys about how I build value in my product with my videos. I build value so high. It's like, I don't hit it and try to get to first base. I try to get to home base every single time, and I do. I'm to home base, and I'm back around to second again, if that makes sense. I build value so high that price isn't even... Over 90% of people don't even bring up price to me. And the, less than 10% that do, I don't even think 1% of that 10% actually gets a discount. And the reason for that is because price isn't the problem. I've built value so high, believe it or not, the scarcity of that unit, of that car, is the problem. I'm at a point now where I'm not even getting cars on the website. People are calling me and saying, what do you have? I want to buy a car from you. I found you. I Googled car dealers. I found you. I saw your reviews. I watched your YouTube videos. What do you have coming in? And I'm like, well, I've got these 4 cars coming in this week. Can I see them before they go on the website? Well, they're sitting here right now. It's insane. I mean, that's the brand that I've been able to build by being the opposite of my competition. So when we go back to that, that shiny black with the red sports car, I don't have a sports car on my logo. It's a memorable font, white writing over a baby blue background. The only color in any of my ads, there's a little YouTube play button, a red YouTube play button, because I'm old and play buttons were red when I started. Maybe it should be white. But anyways, You know, that's it. There's no sports car. There's no talk about price. There's no, you know, best deal and blah, 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 blah. What I do is I start with a good unit and I build value. So maybe you've been an electrician for 10 years and you see, wait a second, you know, I'm doing all the work and, you know, and the company's getting $200 an hour and I'm getting 60. You know, I talked to a dear brother of mine, love him with all my heart, the other day, and he was telling me he's doing this job. It's going to take, I think he said it's going to take 3 days, and the customer's getting charged $30,000. And it flew out of my mouth. I don't know if he was ready for it. I go, bro, how much are they paying you? You know what I mean? And you could see the wheels turn in his head. I mean, they're probably paying him like $1,000, which some people would say is good for 3 days work. You know what? That job is for a guy like him that's just waiting to start his own business. And, you know, I get that that's not for everybody, but if you're watching this channel, obviously it's for you, right? So, you know, so it's, you know, so maybe you're somebody like him. You're like, I can't believe the money I can make if I do this on my own. When you get out on your own, you need to find what's special about you and market the crap out of that. Look at what, maybe you're leaving an employer to compete with them. Look at what your employer's doing. Look at what your competition or your soon-to-be competition is doing. And please take this in the context. Do the opposite. So, you know, all the car dealers, like I'm going to use words here that sound like I'm not respecting humans. Listen, all humans are created equal. I've said this in other videos, and if it offends you, it's not the channel for you. But Jesus died for every single customer, every single competitor. So I'm not trying to down talk people. I'm talking about competitors. I'm talking about customers. But I say this when I talk to other dealers that I'm trying to encourage to be the best versions of themselves. Listen, losers lower price, winners build value. What do I mean by that? Everybody knows a 2000, you know, we'll say a 2014 Corolla with 100,000 miles on it's worth $12,000, which at the moment, that's probably about right, correct? So any loser can take one and sell it for $10,500. And that person, like I said, as a human, I'm not calling them a loser, but as a business, they're absolutely a loser. Why take off, you know, it's $12,000, they sell it for $10,500. You're taking off $1,500 to get a customer. Why don't you build the value to the point where the customer feels like the car's worth $14,000 and they're getting a deal at fair market value, which is $12,000. You're not hurting them by getting $12,000. You're not hurting them if you paid, you know, $11,900 for the car. You're not hurting them if you paid $5,000 for the car and you're making $7,000 on it. $12,000 is the market value, period. So if you're not building value higher than the price, what are you doing? A sale takes place when value exceeds price. So what you're doing is you're lowering the price, so then value naturally has to be higher than it. If value's here and you make the price lower, value's higher than price, right? But why not leave price alone and build value? So my marketing in my world is designed to show that I am the exact opposite of my competition, which is a very positive thing for my customer base. And I build value and I stand out. And where I'm going with this, twice now in the last 2 months, one time it was at Aldi, and the other time, I forget where I was at, but somebody walked up to me and said, you know, my business's name is Pella Cars. And I had, you know, one time the jacket, and now that it's finally spring, just the hoodie. And, oh, you work at Pella Cars? I see the ads for them all the time. So you work at Pella Cars. I see the ads for them all the time. Man, that place is awesome, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, I created it. I own it. I didn't say that. I'm humble. I mean, I am so humbled and blessed by how effective this marketing has been. But I've marketed us as the opposite. Us, my family, my wife and I, my kids are starting to do a little bit of work here and there. I've marketed us as the opposite of the problem. The industry is the problem. I've marketed as the opposite. Obviously, I don't gouge anybody. I sell cars for market value. I'm very good at buying them, so I leave some margin there. And I'm very, very good at building value beyond market value, so every car is a good deal to these people. So much so that I was recognized in public. I mean, I live in way outside of Rochester, New York, but you know, my county is in a metro area of 1.1 million people, and twice in a couple months, my business logo on my shirt was recognized and I was told by somebody that it's awesome. I mean, that is humbling. So the point of this video, I've been yakking on for almost 10 minutes. The point of this video is I want you guys to think, whether you're planning your business or you're building your business or you're rebuilding your business, your marketing needs to capture you. Chances are you think you're better than your competition. So why are you copying them and doing what they're doing for their, for their marketing? When you look, especially in the automotive industry, and I've said to you guys, and I'll say it to you again, and that's a great place to start. If you like cars and you want to work for yourself, it's easy to get into, and it's even easier to fail at if you want to be like the competition. They're liars, cheaters, criminals. Most of them go out of business because they don't pay their sales tax, and you could be better than that, right? But maybe, like I said, maybe you're an electrician and you want to do that. Maybe you're a barber and you want to open your own barber shop, whatever. Look around, figure out what your competition is doing wrong, and do the opposite. Focus more on that than you focus on seeing what they're doing right and copying it. Be you and be the opposite of what sucks in your industry. So I'm Drew. I really hope this is helpful. If it is, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's taken a while, folks. I'm working like crazy, but I'm still crushing it as a dad and a husband. I'm around for my family and the business is thriving. It unfortunately does not leave much time for you guys, and I'm sorry, but I promise if you subscribe once in a while, you'll get a video that'll encourage you. And soon here, hopefully in the next couple months, you'll be getting videos every week. So I'm Drew. I really hope it helps you. Take those next steps. If I could do this, you could do this. God bless. We'll see you soon. Bye.